Welcome
Yeah.
to Sell Anyways podcast. Today we are diving into the future of sales, automation, and AI with the true innovator, Tim Cortinovis. Is a professional keynote speaker, sales automation consultant, and an author of multiple books, including the Amazon number one bestseller, The Single-Handed Unicorn: Selling Smarter, Not Harder. And the age of agents, he helped businesses harness AI to scale, automate, and sell smarter. If you're looking to stay ahead in AI driven world, this episode is for you. Tim, welcome to the show today.
Thank you, Tahir. So great to be your guest. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Today's conversation is a very special conversation for me. My usual podcasts and my topics are around merger acquisition and this kind of topics, but AI is really because I'm involved also myself in AI from last 5 years, and also I'm building a company, a platform
Yeah.
which is built on top of the AI. So when I saw your book and the title, oh, I said,
Mhm.
this is for me. I need to get this person in my podcast and talk about it. It's really, really interesting. So I'm really interesting to know about your journey.
Thank you.
So tell me, your book, The Single-Handed Unicorn, became an Amazon bestseller. What inspired you to write it, and what's the key message for businesses,
Yeah.
business owners?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, it became Amazon number one bestseller last week. And I started writing it actually last June, in June 24, when I don't know if you remember, Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, publicly said he had a bet with some friends of him about when we will see the first unicorn. The first single-handed unicorn arise. He didn't said it that way, but that what was the idea. And then I read an article on Forbes from IT Can Tank about that idea and elaborating it a little bit more. And so I thought, yes, I'm into AI for the last 35 years, and this is really, really interesting. And I wrote that book as an experiment to answer myself this Kiyosaki question: how
Mhm.
can I build a $1 billion company on my own?
Yeah.
What does it take to do so? And I've come up with three ideas. And I think the main takeaway for business owners in our days is it is possible to build massive companies. And I think when you start focusing on the problem, then
Mhm.
you will have a good chance. Meaning, when you focus on the bigger the problem you solve, the more chances you have to build a unicorn company. So normally, all the old days, it was like this: that some smart engineers or computer scientists invented something new, and then they searched for people buying it. And I think nowadays we can do it the other way around: search for the problem to solve, then find the AI to solve that problem and sell it to the people having the problem. And that way, you are a lot faster and a lot smarter at scaling your company.
Okay, great. So let's talk about. I mean, I'm more keen to know. Obviously, if someone wants to understand, they need to buy a book and read a book. By the way, I ordered already. So I'm in UAE, so it's going to take a couple of weeks to arrive. So I don't know why. So I'm going to read it, and I'm really looking forward to read that book. But just for our listeners today
Great,
to
thank you.
know, how can you build a single-handed uh, unicorn? Because in a company structure, you need sales department, you need accounting, you need fundraising, you need, yes. So I'm so excited to know now. So I'm going to ask you a little bit so you can dive into
Sorry.
a little. You don't have to reveal the whole thing, but so yeah, so many components you need to in a unicorn. They have different departments. They have department heads. So how can you replace everybody and get AI to do everything for you, and you can build a unicorn? So what's the concept behind it?
Yeah, yeah, the concept behind is to do it step by step. I don't
Yeah.
say on any page of that book that it is possible in a month's time. I
Yeah.
think you will need time. It will still will take you, let's say, 4 or 5 years, maybe 10 years to build a massive company, a unicorn. But the idea is to find good processes and yeah, to set up agents, of course, agents for each and every business unit you have, for customer service, for accountants, and product development, and so on. And although it sounds a little bit solitarian, this single-handed, that isn't the case at no means, because you won't be able to do it completely on your own. You will need still peer entrepreneurs to discuss ideas with. You still will need freelancers around you, and you will have a strong network to build a unicorn company, but the driving force behind it will be only you. And the concept is that you gain speed also by not having to discuss your idea and your direction, the direction of the company, with a bunch of other people. So you can decide directly and from your knowledge. And so you get a lot of traction. And then you go step by step and scale the whole thing, putting agents in place. And we see right now what agents are capable of. And the whole thing is exploding nearly since the beginning of the year. We saw it coming last year, but now they're there. And of course, you will still have some freelancers or maybe also a little team. But the idea basically is that you are the single driving force behind it.
Right. Okay. So great. So I would love to read this book and learn more concept about it. So in selling smarter, not harder, you discuss AI in sales. So what's the biggest myth about AI-driven sales automation?
Yeah, there are a lot of myths, but I think the biggest of all is it's called automation, and it's that's running automatically, and that couldn't be far from the truth. Yes, of course, it is really fast, and it takes over a lot of tedious manual tasks, but it won't run automatically. You still have to try what works best, and you have to maintain it, and there are some studies telling you that more or less automation and AI in sales and marketing will take over some 50% of the load. So it is not run. It doesn't run automatically.
Hmm. Okay. So, Tim, you mentioned that you've been involved in AI for the last 30 years. So, what is your story? What do you do? And what's your background? So, would you please tell us a little bit
Yeah,
about
glad you
yourself
asked.
and what do you do?
Yeah, I'm 52 years old right now,
Hmm.
and I started my journey into AI when I was a nerdish young boy. At the age of 15 or 16, I had the first computer, and I programmed it with something like a chatbot and a very early AI version. And since then,
So,
it's
it was a
now
flow-based
35 years.
chatbot. It was a flow-based selection. You select this option, and that will give you another option, and you do the selection, not the conversational AI, right?
Yeah, almost. No, it was something that called was called Eliza, and you
Okay.
could chat with it, and
Ah,
it
okay.
produced some answers that made
Hmm.
sense. It shows the answers from a stack of answers, but not by random. So there was something. It wasn't by no means was it machine learning or something like a GPT of our days, but a very rudimentary version. And since then, I'm really fascinated by the idea of a machine taking over my work. And then I studied at the university, and I always in my studies I looked where to apply databases or computers to do my studies and my work better. And I received my degree in my master in 2001, and I started working right then from the start on a really early AI company here in Germany, and we automated, for instance, the website of a famous publisher, and they had a something like a National Geographic magazine, and the website itself was able to detect what kind of texts you read and to then to put the new coffee table book from that publisher in front of you. So that was my first professional experience with AI, 2001, and since then I'm studying and I'm researching about the topic how can we apply AI and automation to sales and marketing. And with these ideas, I started my own business in 2011, and since then, I'm traveling the globe and giving keynotes in English, German, and Spanish about that topic: how businesses can thrive, applying innovative technologies. Yeah, lately AI agents and maybe also augmented reality or the blockchain technology to do better business and to give more value to their customers. And we see this, and when we talk about AI in sales, we see two sides of a medal. We see on the one side the company itself and gaining more traction and more speed in itself using AI, gaining more efficiency and with a huge lever. But on the other side, we see the customers demand. They demand for speed. They demand for easiness in the processes. They demand for very simple processes. And I think AI can help us to deliver better on that customer expectations. And so when we apply AI in our sales, marketing, and customer operations, we will gain at both sides.
Okay, so you also do mentorship for business owners if they want to work with you for the businesses. Do you do such mentorship programs?
Sometimes, yes, I do. Yes, I am a mentor in a mentorship program in an AI startup hub. So I give advice to a lot of AI startups how to automate their sales funnels from the beginning. So without building a huge sales team, they are building automated sales funnels. Yes.
Great, great. So, our industry is majority of my listeners are people who are working in merger acquisitions and business brokerage industry. So, give us some ideas for our listeners
Yeah.
today. How can AI can disrupt this market, especially with the baby boomers coming to retire, and there are a lot of businesses are going to come in for sales, which brings a lot of opportunities for entrepreneurs through acquisitions as well as business brokerage industry as well. So give us some ideas. How can AI can disrupt this industry?
Yes, I think AI can help to produce brand aligned results. So in an M&A, you normally have the problem to align two brands, or let's say to align the acquired brand to your very own brand. And I think with AI, you have that possibility even faster because you can set the tone and the voice and yeah, the feeling of your emails, of your marketing collaterals, and you can let the AI produce your marketing campaigns, also your landing pages, your ads, and so on, and align that to your brand. That would be really helpful, of course. And when you then, the next step would be to personalize each message. And this is really quite easy using AI nowadays. This could be done by, let's say, by an intern, nearly by an intern, uh, and you can set up a process to get the background of your prospect, let's say, or of your client, and to write really highly precise sales proposals to these persons. And so even when you're not with your mind fully in the acquired company, you could send sales proposals to their customers as you are able using AI to be very specific to their needs, although you personally or your sales team doesn't know their background 100%.
Right. So can AI send email, receive emails, and reply emails itself without a physical person to do any click?
Yeah, that has to do a lot of with a lot of trust. I do so in my company. I'm answering all my emails and also inquiries for keynotes and so on, using an AI. I called it Rick. Rick is my face to the customer, and it is an AI, and it answers my emails without me looking on it before it is sent out. So an email comes in, and Rick immediately answered it. Rick has access to my calendar and has access to my style and is trained on my style, and it always answers really polite and on the point and sharp. And I've handled some business issues only using Rick. So I've looked on some emails afterwards, and I just said, yeah, okay, that was perfect. We can go on with this. Rick is sending emails on my behalf as an outreach, and is answering incoming emails, and also is accessible via WhatsApp. So it serves also as a WhatsApp bot, and you can check for my availability using Rig as a channel. And I have a second AI agent, assistant agent, and I call it Sam. And Sam's just for me, and it handles all my for me. It's like a personal assistant. I can tell Sam, send out an email to XYZ. Sam's able to look up the email address in my CRM system and to formulate that email and to send it out. And it also has access to my calendar and to my task list. So if I'm coming out of the shower in the morning, I had the idea, oh, I have to send Tahir a message, and please remind me to make that message later on in my task list. Or I tell Sam, just send an email to Tahir asking if we could arrange a meeting later this day. Or please, Sam, look up in my calendar when I'm available next week, and send Tahir two dates for next week. So this is handled totally automatically. But this has to do a lot of with trust. You have to trust the AI that it sends out good good results. And my experience with this is, maybe if you did it personally on your own, the result would be 100% good. And maybe running an AI, the result is 80%. But the time you free off and the energy you gain back from that process is so valuable that for me, that it outweighs much more the less of quality here.
Okay, can you tell our listeners some of the must-have platforms or tools, basics as a business owner to automate these tasks, which you have done, like for WhatsApp, email automation for itself. So kind of a
Yeah,
stack or something for everybody to consider without selling the softwares,
yeah, thank
of
you.
course.
Um,
Yeah,
no, I won't. No, I'm not an affiliate with any software.
yeah.
Maybe I should, but no,
Yeah, you should actually.
not. I'm not.
It's a
But now,
great idea, but sharing the knowledge at the same earning money as well. It's not bad, isn't it? It's
yeah,
a good thought.
no, it's not.
Yeah,
So first of all, the platform to coordinate and to set up processes of automation. My favorite platform is Make.com. Make.com is so
mate.
easy. It's no code, low code.
It's a mate.
Make as do make. Make.com.
Make.com. Okay.
Perfect. And yeah, Mike.com, and you can build scenarios. And for instance, you can build a scenario where you first connect. And this is my favorite AI is Perplexity right now. It's a little
Hmm.
bit simple, but it's a very good AI to do a lot of things in sales. And Perplexity.ai is, instead of search, I'm searching using Perplexity for the last 9 months instead of Google. And also you gain a lot of market insights. So maybe you have a list of prospects, and you put that list of prospects in a Google Sheet, and then you could use Make to connect Google Sheet with Perplexity in the next step, and then ask Perplexity for the first company, second, and so on. Please give me the background of that company and where that company is struggling right now. So first step, and then you get the result from Perplexity in Make, and you put that result into OpenAI and Assistant GPT, your own ChatGPT trained, really easy, and ask it to match it with your profile, your company profile, and to write a compelling sales email. And so you get a very personalized, what I said before, a very personalized email for that potential, and you can send it out right there if you connect Gmail or Outlook or whatsoever in Make, also in that scenario, and you run that scenario, and boom, you've sent out 1,000 really, really on the point personalized emails. So make.com would be my first platform recommendation. Perplexity for market research. If you want to enter a new market, you can ask it everything, and in 5 minutes, you have all the data around your market. You can ask it the background. If you, for instance, you have a client meeting right now and you have only 10 minutes to prepare for that client meeting, just go to Perplexity, ask it where's that company struggling in your field, and how can I deliver value into this? And in 5 minutes, you have your meeting prepared on the point. And yeah, that's basically is
And
it.
how the
And
auto
as a
reply of
chatbot, I would,
emails once these emails are sent out. So how the AI will reply back
yeah.
those emails themselves. Like
Yes, you can handle this as
how
well.
Rick
You can,
how Rick will reply back those emails.
yeah. Rick is trained on my profile, and Rick is set on. I'm working with Gmail, and Rick is connected directly to Gmail, and all incoming email and all answers in Gmail will be replied by Rick, and so Rick will also, and if a customer replies to that process, Rick will answer maybe with, "Okay, I'm so glad to hear you're interested. Please make an appointment with Tim or with somebody from the sales team. Here's the Calendly link." So, of course, you need an electronic calendar also in place, and then it's yeah, a piece of cake.
Right. Okay. Great. Okay. So for email reply and stuff, you recommend Gmail.
Yes, yes, I do. I like Gmail a lot. It's very flexible. You can the filters are really good. The important filters, so it takes out a lot of clutter that you always have. All the newsletters and
I'm not sure
all
if
email
Gmail.
that is not.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Gmail can have the capability of sending the email without clicking the button. So I think I'm using Gmail as the paid subscription for Gemini, but still it gives you a recommendation, but still you need to do it yourself. But it doesn't reply automatically if train
No, no, no.
Gmail to do so.
You can do so. I do so. Yeah. You can do so by using Make. So in Make, you have a scenario where you connect Gmail with
Okay.
Rig, and in Make you can send via the API. Can You can tell Gmail to send out an email to Tahir with that email address, and
Right.
you can choose whether to put it on as a draft or to send it out directly.
So the email comes as a to
Amazing.
Gmail as a reply. Gmail will send it to Make, and the Make will create a reply and send it back to the Gmail, and then Gmail will send out.
Yeah, that's it. Yes,
Yeah, great.
exactly.
Yeah, perfect. So you've worked with countless businesses on AI-driven sales processes. So can you share a real-world example where automation led to a massive breakthrough or massive success?
Yes, that what I described before, that is more than 20 years ago. That worked very well for that publisher. That was a famous German publisher, and they had a really, really huge breakthrough. We did the same thing for T Online. That is the online service of German Telecom. And they had a massive breakthrough with this technology as well. And then there are some startups I gave advice, but they have not so famous brands, but they had that breakthrough also. So they, again, their first customers, and they got the flywheel working, and they just took that momentum. That was some examples I personally worked in my book, the single-handed unicorn. I've two more examples. I have a lot of examples, but two more of that, of very huge companies. And this is the company Zappos. You probably know, that was founded by a single founder and on a very, very small basis and small budget. And of course, Natalie Perkins, the founder of Canva, also founded on her own, and now she has a team. But both examples show that it is possible to found, yeah, on your own, a massive company. But you have to take into account that the concept is quite new, and until last year, nobody thought of going all the way nearly on your own with a very, very small team. And that has become possible, I would say, the last 3 months. So we will see a rise, some companies of this size, but we haven't seen yet uh, a single-handed unicorn totally from the beginning to the unicorn valuation.
Maybe from 10 years from now, we will see. I think it will take time, as you rightly said. It can't happen overnight. It might happen in 5 years or 10 years from now, because we are still on a very early stage of the AI boom. So it's not there yet. So still, concept is quite new, and many things needs to be figured out.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're still
So,
experimenting.
so many entrepreneurs worry about losing the human touch with AI in sales. So what's your advice on balancing automation with personal relationships?
One point, of course, is that you will free your time, and you won't have to fill in endless Excel sheets with the data. This can do the machine much better, and so you will uh, free a lot of time you could use for this personal connection, and you will have more time to spend in phone calls, or when you have the it has become really rare, the personal contact between buyers and sellers, and this is and a huge part, because buyers don't want that personal touch anymore. They want self-service, according to studies from McKinsey and Deloitte. They want it fast. They want text messages instead of calls, and so on. That is not applicable to all markets. Maybe your market is different, but that is roughly speaking, the global trend. But you can use the free time when you have the seldom opportunity to talk to your customer, or to meet them in a fair or whatsoever, and to get in touch there. And the other part is when you train your AI, or when you sometimes even write some automated texts, that might happen also. You can actually put a lot of human touch in your text and your material, and so your bots will sound also more, yeah, with a human touch. For instance, I had a call with a prospect at the beginning of January, and then that prospect postponed the date, because he was ill, and he called in sick in an email, and Rick responded, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear this. Get well soon, but no, there's no worries. Here's Tim's calendar. Please arrange a new meeting." So that was quite the same tone I had applied to that email, and that prospect found it. He was amazed, of course. It was as he knew it was automated, but it just hit the needed tone. And I think we should. This is the most important point here. We should always be aware that our messages reach human persons still. That might be changed in the next years, but still we are reaching with our emails, with our messages, with our online ads, LinkedIn ads, Instagram ads, whatsoever. We reach humans, persons, and we have to apply that tone, and we should never forget this. And if you use automation to do it the fast way, and you don't think, in what you arrange that your message is received by a human, you will fail. I think with this mindset in place, you will still have that needed human touch in sales.
So technology, sometimes you cannot rely at 100%. It happens. So
Yeah, of course, yeah,
always
technology can fail.
exactly.
Yeah, and if we apply AI to sales,
Yeah. So tell me, Jim, about the voice bot. So when it comes to the calling agents, so how do you think how realistic is going to be when an AI agent is calling to a client and trying to sell something rather than a real person calling?
yes, I think this is really possible and might be even suit the needs of the client. As I said, sales is basically searching for problems to solve and giving value and solving that problems faster and better than other solutions. So, if you have something to offer that really solves the problems of your client, I'm totally convinced that if you apply a voice bot, a calling agent, and do cold calling robocalls
Or a support agent,
using
even
AI,
support agent providing basic
yeah,
support. Yeah.
yes, I think this works really well as it saves your client also the time. And if you start right away with a very good pitch and the bot explains that it is a bot and it's not faking to be human and it comes straight to the point and it solves my problem, then I'm willing to listen to it and to decide whether I go the next step with that company or I won't. So I think voice calling bots could be a good idea. Yes, if you if you have the right value proposition. I don't think that if you are selling some commodity goods to a broad market, that might not be a good fit, as a lot of customers might be annoyed from this.
Hmm. Yes, yes, exactly. What is the an overlooked AI tool or trend that business owners should start leveraging right now?
Pardon?
Tim, did you get my
I didn't
question?
get the
So,
question. Sorry.
what an overlooked AI tool or trend that business owners should start leveraging right now? Like, what is the
Yeah, an overlooked AI tool.
yeah? Go ahead.
Yeah, that might be Perplexity. As I said, it is not overlooked, but maybe underused in sales. So for market insights, this is really good. And maybe also some now these you have deep research from OpenAI. It's a little bit expensive, but this is quite worth all the money. You have deep research from AI and also from Gemini, and DeepSeek is offering also deep search now, and you can get some really valuable. Just give it a try. If you say something like you want to enter a new market with a new business model, and are there enough is there enough volume in that market, and so on, and just ask it. So this is with deep research that was published, I think, some 3 weeks ago, that puts all the ideas of market insights to a whole nother level.
Yeah. The software you mentioned, I didn't quite get it. It's Complicity, right? Complicity AI. How do you spell?
No, Perplexity. It's
Perplexity.
PER.
Okay.
Yeah, Perplexity, and you can use Perplexity as well. They're offering since today. They started deep research based on DeepSeek
Okay.
deep research.
So can you spell it for me? Publicity.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. Got it.
PERPLEXITY.ai.
Got it. So what is the biggest mistake companies make when implementing AI into their sales processes? They should avoid.
Yeah, I think the biggest mistake is they think it runs automatically, and they don't focus enough on the feedback they get from the customers. Is it working well, and do their customers and clients accept that process? And I think they're just throwing AI to their processes and don't wait until they see results. They're quite too fast. This is one problem I see. And the second one, it has become so easy to implement AI pilots. So everybody in your team uh, could start, and in a lot of teams this happens right now. A lot of team members are starting their own AI pilots, as you could just run from a free version on your desktop, on your notebook computer, and so you have in a couple of days or weeks you have a landscape of diverse AIs working, and there's no connection, no interconnection between them. So I see these two mistakes.
Yeah. Okay, I think with a lot of AI implementation you just described, so companies they need a lot of prompt engineers, or you need to build a lot of flows, connections, and all. Isn't it a very complex software development? What you it might be easier for you, but for someone who doesn't understand the AI APIs, prompting, and all that, it's not so easy to. So where someone can go and how can, let's say, a business owner watching or listening today, how can they start?
Yeah, the good. Yeah, yeah, I understand your point totally. The most important point is to start at all, and not to be overrun by the complexity of that topic. And the good news here is you can just start with ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is giving you all the answers. If you don't know how to prompt, just ask ChatGPT to tell it to you, and you can learn a lot just by using ChatGPT. And you can even ask it to write the prompt for you, and you will get better results doing this. And you don't need to know what an API is or how to put up that processes. Just ask ChatGPT what to do, and it would tell it to you. So you don't need to hire IT consultants and to spend a lot of money to start with the for the first use cases.
Okay, Tim. One last question before we end the session today. For businesses looking to stay competitive in this AI driven world, what's the one
Yeah.
piece of advice you would give them today?
So my advice to stay competitive in this AI world right now is to focus not only on the AI and the AI tools, but more on what your clients want, what they need for a good business partnership. Do they want more speed or more easiness in handling everything? This would be my advice. And if you do this, you will be more competitive than ever. So, Tahir, thank you so much to having me today on your show. It was a real pleasure to be your guest. Thank you, and all the best to you and all our listeners.